This is the Polygon N9 Collosus, and its arrival has been highly anticipated. The good news? It's finally here. Hey everybody, it's Jared here, and it is an absolute honor to be presenting to you one of Polygon's most aggressive enduro bikes that they have ever designed. Many of you may have already noticed sponsored Polygon athletes riding prototype versions of this bike in the EWS. Well, rest assured, this bike in particular was well worth the wait. Polygon wanted to make sure that when they brought this bike to the market, it would provide unbeatable race-ready performance with an also unbeatable price tag. Now with that being said, let's have a closer look. Now first off, let's address the elephant in the room, and that's going to be that crazy linkage. The 6-bar linkage of the Collosus was first introduced to us on the e-mountain bikes by Polygon, the Mount Bromo series. And some of you may have already noticed that. But what you may not already know is that this linkage platform serves a purpose that's just as intricate as its appearance.
Suspension design is usually a balancing act as the wheel path of the suspension and leverage curve work in opposition of each other. But what the 6-bar linkage has allowed the engineers at Polygon to do is independently tune the leverage curve and the wheel path in isolation from each other, getting the absolute best performance out of the rear suspension as possible with little to no compromise. It's supple, progressive, and pedals well too.
And when you pair that concept with a burly Fox X2 shock, you can throw all concerns for suspension fade right out the window. That same relentless energy of the rear suspension is translated up front as well by a Fox 38, which is also 170 millimeters of travel. This is the kind of suspension that most riders are upgrading their bikes to obtain. As for you, this bike comes with it, so you won't have to. Moving on to the drivetrain, you're going to notice an intelligent combination of Shimano components. As for the shifter and derailleur, these are high-level XT, and they provide very short and crisp throws, which I grew to really like. It gives you an almost laser-focused tactile feel, and I actually found myself shifting more often than I needed to just to, kind of feel it. Now, as for the cassette, it is the 10 to 50 one-tooth derailleur level cassette, and this gives you maximum range while also balancing cost efficiency. I think the idea here is that this bike is going to be entered into races all throughout the year. And as you know, cassettes are a wear item. They get expensive, so it's nice to have one that's cost efficient. Fortunately, regardless of spec level, the Shimano 12-speed components all work hand in hand quite well. And that means that you're going to have reliable shifting whether you're climbing or descending. Now for the brakes, you're going to notice a slight deviation from the Polygon norms with the use of SRAM Code R brakes. This was a careful selection by Polygon to further build upon its purpose-built nature to be a race-ready enduro bike. The SRAM Code R brakes are an enduro-focused 4-pot setup that already include metallic pad compound for the most aggressive braking possible. Now SRAM, unlike Shimano or Tektro, uses a dot fluid in their brakes. Although the dot fluid can make maintenance a little bit more intricate, the idea behind this is that it minimizes brake fade while maximizing brake modulation. Both of these attributes are considered to be high priority when it comes to demanding enduro scenarios. The rotors are a whopping 203 millimeters both front and back, which is yet another no-compromise selection for this bike. The N9 features tires by Schwalbe. These are 29 by 2.6 Magic Marys with both the gravity casing as well as the soft compound. If there are ever any moments in your riding that grip is at an absolute premium, I promise you that these tires will provide way more grip than you can ask for. I personally can't recall a tire that had more fierce grip and traction. Now I should mention, you will feel some added drag in the climbs, as that's often the trade-off with super grippy tires. But if you haven't figured it out by now, this bike's priority is bombing downhill. With that being said, I think that this tire selection was just as calculated as everything else that we've talked about thus far. The tubeless ready wheels featured on the Collosus N9 feature entity hoops laced to some really awesome XT level Shimano hubs. And why exactly are these hubs awesome? Well, I'll let them do the talking. And as if this bike couldn't have any more pleasant surprises, there's actually some more awesome things to talk about. The Collosus N9 across the entire range features generously lengthed, internally routed dropper posts with super clean internal cable routing, and if you don't believe me, have a look. There are premium bits sprinkled all throughout the bike with its finishing kit. Let's talk about maybe the seat stay bridge, the down tube protector, the shuttle lap protector, And there's also a chain slap guard on the chainstay. And to tie all of that together, the N9 has this special prismatic overcoat that's sprayed on top of what would normally be, a normal olive green paint job. Even all of the cockpit components are aftermarket by Raceface. Personally, I'm blown away by how much thought went into speccing this bike when you put it up against its price tag. The value is extraordinary. So if you're in the market for a no-compromise enduro shred sled, your search officially ends today. The Collosus N9 features incredible components combined with a super stable chassis for riders whose main concern is going full send through the gnarliest of terrain. If you have any questions for us at all, make sure to comment below. I'll make sure that we provide links so you can check out all of the mouth-watering details of the Collosus N9. Don't forget to subscribe to Bikes Online so you can stay up to date on all of the latest Collosus content. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Jared with Bikes Online, and I'll see you around. Let's go. You! I felt so good. Super composed. Let's go on up. Boop. Feels good. Bada bing. Perfect. I gotta do this thing. Feels nice so far. Perfect. Keep going.